What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Today, we got Jacksonville's new hope, the JDot Breezy story from inside a hotspot. Now, listen, JDot Breezy, first and foremost, man, shout out Jacksonville. Things starting to heat up once again out there in Jacksonville. If you know, you know. Now, when it come down to JDot, I've been reacting to JDot Breezy for the last, 2 years, I want to say. And when I tell you, and we do a lot of reactions here on the channel, man, but the love that JDot get from y'all, I'm saying y'all in my DMs, y'all be emailing me, y'all comment, y'all, hey, when JDot drop, y'all make sure to let me know, y'all make sure to tell me. Bro, his fans is real, like y'all support him tough. But we ain't doing no more talking, though. Y'all know we rock with JDot heavy here on the channel. Let's get it.
Football used to cover up my tracks for everything. So I was wilding, but when my name came, I'm like, nah, not football player, I don't believe that. So I would be like, all right, for sure. People don't understand, like, bro, in high school, if you wasn't playing sports or you were smart, or if you didn't have nothing going for yourself, you wasn't in tune with school activities, you was considered a bum.
I was really a bum ass nigga then, hold on. But it's crazy. Hold on. So they got high school footage of them, though.
Have nothing going for yourself. You weren't in tune with school activities. You was considered a bum.
I just wanna thank God. This just show you that God real. We back-to-back state champs. And I just want to say that I did it for my granny. You know, it's just very emotional feeling. I just don't know how to react.
110 yards rushing, 50 yards passing. Hold on, bro. It's called like that for real. And you know it's crazy though. One thing I don't understand though about hip hop, because we see it with ESTG, like he don't really be like wanting to be known that he played like a professional sport. If anything, bro, I feel like that's better. Like it show like you really like athletic like that. Like you got other skills other than the rap. But that's hard though.
Yeah, to it.
The type of person I am, bro, I don't say shit to people. I ain't no shit starter. But once you started,
right, you're
gonna do everything to end it. And that's not even the ops neither.
The cops.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ain't no winning against them. Like just leave them alone.
These niggas keep mentioning me, but I will go live about these niggas every day. These niggas gonna hate me. I will make everybody block me, boy.
Hey yo, squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. Jacksonville, Florida is a talent hotbed, but it's also filled with hot lead, with drilling at an all-time high and clout being the biggest substance on the market.
No, that was hard. I ain't gonna lie, that was hard right there. Hold on.
The drill, back with another video, man. Jacksonville, Florida is a talent hotbed, but it's also filled with hot lead, with drilling at an all-time high and clout being the biggest substance on the market. All eyes have been on Jacksonville. Rappers like Young and Ace and Julio Fulio have made their names in the game. Two talented artists that unfortunately have been overshadowed and covered by their own smoke. But out of the smoke comes a fairly new addition to the game with extreme talent, JDot Breezy. JDot Breezy has had quite a life in a short amount of time. Barely in his 20s, Breezy's seen the streets, he's seen the cage, but he's also seen notable success on the football field. A Jacksonville state champion who ultimately had to fall victim to a beef he was surrounded by but not directly in, and was no longer allowed to pursue his sports dream.
You know what's crazy though? When he said that, just to touch on the football thing again, you know, I know a lot of people could be like, man, you know, he could have just stayed in the league. He could have went pro. And he could have went pro though, man. But what I want some people to understand, it's a lot harder than it look. It's easier said than done to completely separate yourself from your environment and the people that you around. A lot of times, like, you get just trapped into that cycle. You get trapped into that life. You start to lose people on your side. You experience tragedy. You ain't gonna have a positive outlook on your future when you losing niggas like that. And I mean, I ain't trying to make excuses for it, but you know, I just feel like it's easier said than done though, man.
Left with no choice but to hit the booth, he's been doing just that and doing it with a vengeance. Determined to stay out of the street beef in Jacksonville, JDot Breezy is a man on a mission, and with any luck, he'll climb the ladder of success. But just how did JDot Breezy get to where he is now? How did he lose his shot at sports stardom? And just how did he survive this long without falling prey to the wicked streets? We gonna find out. So without further ado, Let's skip the play and get down to business.
Let's get it.
JDot Breezy is a rapper from Jacksonville, Florida. He hit this planet on February 22nd, 2002. Growing up in what he would consider an average environment, JDot Breezy grew up with his mother and sister in Jacksonville.
Oh, bro, that young? I don't know why I thought bro was like 27, 28. Like, I didn't think bro was that young. Bro was born in 02. That's crazy.
Skip the play and get down to business. JDot Breezy is a rapper from Jacksonville, Florida. He hit this planet on February 22nd, 2002. Growing up in what he would consider an average environment, JDot Breezy grew up with his mother and sister in Jacksonville, Florida. His dad was in and out of jail, and he wasn't really present throughout his childhood.
What were you like as a kid and shit?
You
grew up with both parents?
Nah. Like, I had my dad in my life, but he was like in and out of prison, in and out of jail and shit.
Okay.
Since the age of 11, Breezy was dabbling with the mic. Him and his homies would listen to underground rap from Detroit in particular. That was his favorite rap, and he was heavily influenced by rappers like V's and Babyface Ray, who was still bubbling locally when bro was coming up.
Everybody got on it late. We was already on that shit. We was already listening to V's and Babyface Ray and all them.
Yeah.
Like, we was already listening to them niggas, bro. So it was like I picked up on that shit.
If you really listen to his music, the influence is actually quite clear. JDot was not the usual youngin' in his hood. He actually was gifted at sports. Before he started to bang, he was already earning stripes with the gridiron gang. Football really was his calling at one point.
Bro, in high school, if you wasn't playing sports or you were smart, or if you didn't have nothing going for yourself, you wasn't in tune with school activities, you was considered a bum.
Facts.
You feel me?
I can
You was
agree with
considered
that.
a bum. So, you feel me? I was in tune with sports because you feel me? I liked it. I love sports. I still love sports to this day. You feel me? So I'm more in tune with that. So that's what I was into. That's the only thing I was into in high school anyway.
Yeah. Even though he was gifted, nowadays people don't focus on that and try to instead choose to clown on bruh for doing sports. I guess people figure it's only one type of field you could practice on to get credit in these streets. There were claims that
And that shit, that's toxic though. Like, you think about it, it's only our people that got that issue, man. I guarantee you see a country singer, a rock and roll artist, if they say they play football back in school, you're gonna be like, oh, that's cool. That's what's up. But let a rapper, let a black man say, oh yeah, I used to play football in high school. Now you wanna rap? Like, come on, man, that's crazy. It's only our people that be doing that. It's confusing to me, man. I don't get it.
For doing sports. I guess people figure it's only one type of field you could practice on to get credit in these streets.
Crazy.
There were claims that he didn't really live what he was rapping.
Okay, and people give you a hard time for playing sports in your past,
Yeah,
as if you're not what you rap about because you used to play sports.
yeah.
And you as though, well, what I took from that kind of got under your skin a little bit.
On the low,
However, bro wouldn't let this get to him. He kind of pitied those who never really had anything they could be proud of, let alone something that didn't involve thugging.
I ain't ashamed to say I played football. I done won state championship, you feel me? Like, that's something you should be proud of.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
that's an accomplishment. Like, you won something, you feel me? Niggas that ain't never had shit, that ain't never, you feel me, tried to be something in life, of course they gonna try to make fun of that, you feel me? So I just look at it like, bro, I accomplished something you didn't, you feel me? So you can laugh all you want to. My name down in a book as a champion, you feel me? So like,
Just imagine if he would have taken it as far as he could. The only thing that's as terrible as wasting a mind is wasting talent. However, sometimes when survival is your main priority, you really don't have the luxury of pursuing your gifts. Never mind the fact that you already being looked at as the man of the house. Things got so grim for Breezy at times that there wouldn't even be any food in the crib. Faced with this ugly reality, of course he got pushed more towards the streets to make paper. Things got so wild that just after winning the state championship with his high school, bro was sent away to a level A program as a result of an armed carjacking charge. Being off the streets and not having the outlet that sports gave him, he began to start to tap in his 11-year-old self and get back to rapping. This time he would take it more serious. While inside, he would rap for anybody with 2 ears. He'd call people from home to tell them that he was serious about rapping when he got back out of the program. When he got free, he started making songs and he was actually getting some traction for real. Then before you know it, he was locked up again for a gun charge.
Crack off. Or no, you said you got arrested for the car thing. So is that when you kind of like... You get locked up, and then all of a sudden that kind of turns you on to the street shit more.
That was weird as hell.
Nah.
Oh, that's kind of what I was assuming.
Nah, like,
You know, I bet that people that were clowning him for playing sports had nothing to say at that point. I know for a fact they wasn't clowning him for getting locked up and not playing football. You know why? Because as long as he was getting locked up for stupid BS, they didn't have to worry about feeling inferior for not having anything special going for themselves. Hate is funny like that. Luckily enough, JDot got out in time to still be in high school, telling his coach that he was done with all the BS. His coach responded, "You either gonna pick one or one gonna pick you." As soon as he was released, he dropped First Week Out with his ankle monitor on. Before he knew it, the song had hit 400,000 views on YouTube. Unfortunately, even while being blessed with this milestone, JDot was truly at his breaking point. He got kicked out of his house after going at it with his moms and started living with his cousin. They are now on good terms, but back then, it was chaotic, not only between JDot and his mom, but also him and his sister. Fellas who grew up in the same house with all women know exactly what he probably was going through.
No, for real though, man. Yeah, you know. I mean, I ain't gonna say I don't want to like sound insensitive type shit, but if you know, for real.
At this point, school and the streets started to collide. It was a head-to-head match that JDot wasn't able to suit up and handle on the field. The school resource officer allegedly overheard a student claim that somebody was trying to act tough and saying that JDot better not come out that gate of the school in front of the officer while acting like they were armed. They then relayed the message to the front office and police were called. JDot was then picked up from school. The principal told him that there was a threat made against you and I need you to get off the school premises. We'll let you know when you can come back to school. Although it would appear that his best interest was at the heart of the school's decision, it turns out their negligence threatened his future just as much as the alleged hater. Months went by and he didn't hear anything from the school. Eventually, he was told that he could go back to school, but sadly, JDot had missed too many days and wasn't...
Did he just say months went by? Yo, okay, so I pull up to the school pretty much saying, Dot better not walk through them gates or we gonna blaze him up. They got this man out of there like he was the president of the school. For his own well-being. So good luck to the school, though. Because I've seen some situations in high school. Schools normally don't do that. But to take him out, and I look at it because, okay, bro was already kicked out the house. Pops was already in and out of prison. Then you get taken out of school. And y'all expected this nigga to go pro? That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, as sad as it might sound, though, this street shit was like destined for bro at that point. He had too many ticks against him.
Eventually, he was told that he could go back to school, but sadly, JDot had missed too many days and wasn't allowed to attend class for the rest of the year. That's messed up, bruh. And JDot took that as his last straw for his academic career.
And that shit caught up with me towards school and shit. So like niggas started doing little lame shit like coming to the school and shit.
Oh yeah, it got shut down, right?
Yeah, so like then it got to a point where like the principal like, oh, this is not a safe environment for you. You don't need to be here because you making it danger for other kids that go here.
The school was trying to push him to attend an alternative school to get a GED, but he had already had no interest in school, and the only thing that pushed him to graduate, football, had been stripped from him. It was at that point that he said, F it. Now that we got that out the way, now we have to give you the background context to his music as his career was still in its infancy. Being a Jacksonville boy, you already know there was a fair share of drama surrounding bruh. It was inescapable as people that he was cool with were actually tied up in the beef. Thus, it became inevitable that he was going to have to pick a side at some point just to be able to move around.
I done lost some brothers, so it's like, you feel me? It's not just one killing, you feel me? That'll be a turning point because it's like, yeah, it's the same pain, but it's like, you feel different types of ways for different people.
There are two main sides to this well-documented beef in the city. In one corner, you got Spinner Bands and Young and Ace and their alleged Squad 187 boys, the ATK. Then in the next corner, you got Julio Fulio, who's allegedly tied to the KTA. JDot Breezy started hanging around ATK and then when he was around 18, but he had been around them brothers since he was a child, even though they claim they didn't know who he was until recently. JDot was always the youngest in the groups that he hung out with. Supposedly back in the day, JDot...
You know what's crazy about Jacksonville? It's hard for me to understand, like, Jacksonville politics because, who was it? Nardo Wick, because I'm like, you know, Jacksonville, it's a big city, but it's not like a Miami. Don't y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I've never been to Jacksonville. I've been to Miami though. But it's like I look at like how do rappers specifically, like how do you find a side to mesh well with? Do you have to find a side to mesh well with in such like a smaller type of city like that? Like look at Nardo Wick. Like who does Nardo Wick really rock with? I think Nardo fuck with Fulio and them. But then again, like you look at Lil Papa, who into it with Fulio. But Lil Papa, you know, he did the tape with JDot. He into it with Fulio, so is Papa ATK, or he just associate with them niggas? And if you associate with them, you can't associate with the other side, obviously. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, so he was just hanging around with him. So is JDot from like the same block as Young and Ace?
I was always the youngest in the groups that he hung out with. Supposedly back in the day, JDot mom Dukes was best friends with another woman whose son lived where Spinner Benz was from in the east side of Jacksonville. JDot would visit them back in the day, and this is when he met Spin and with other members of the 187 boys when they first started spitting and all that.
A long time ago, my mama best friend, like she like family, and her son is from where Spin's from, out east. And I used to go out there a lot when I was little, and I always used to see Spins. But this one, they was lit way back in the day, like way back.
At this point, JDot was an innocent kid with no affiliations. He stated in an interview on No Jumper, "I wasn't really on no gang-ish." JDot says he recalls these interactions with the group amazingly because the 187 boys were trying to make something of themselves. That was something that he didn't really see when he was coming up. At the time, Jacksonville didn't have anybody making it out of the city, and no one had the spotlight. The music scene was dead. It gave him hope. If they could do it, I could do it. Before going to prison for his strap charge, JDot was cool with both sides. It was while he was in prison that all of the Jacksonville gang shenanigans really started to go down. By the time he got out, it was World War in the streets of Jacksonville. JDot looked at the situation as, I'm cool with everybody. They beefing, but I ain't beefing. JDot knew that he would have to pick a side, and this was one of the reasons why he had to stay home from school. People on both sides would go into the school and make threats about JDot, even though he wanted no smoke.
From both sides? Don't tell me Spence showed up to the school. If JDot walked through this door, I'm gonna go tornado kid on him. Ain't no way Spence did this.
He ain't even started rapping about the streets yet. He had only dropped one song, no disses. The incident with the school impacted him to the point where he now technically was rumored to have gang affiliations, and it made it impossible for him to get a job. His only option was rap. He had no mentors. It was just him and his brother Rollo, who had his fair share of street life.
You feel me? We had I had my big brother Rollo. He like family, he like my cousin.
Rollo from Atlanta?
Nah.
Oh, different Rollo.
But he my cousin or whatever, but like he's just Big Bro.
Right.
You feel me? Like, cause I know Big Bro was in the streets and he was like showing me and bro shit.
According to JDot, he never picked a side. He was forced onto a side. After his strap charge, people told him things like not to mess with somebody because they didn't mess with him. JDot wasn't like that. If that was the case, he wasn't gonna mess with either one of them. Rollo had grown up with Young and Ace and all his boys. Additionally, JDot grew up with Queso and his brother because their mothers knew each other.
But so you don't stay in Jacksonville anymore, or are you still around?
No, I don't stay in Jacksonville.
Damn, everybody fleeing the city, huh?
Yeah, it's just, bro, he ain't even.
It's just really that bad?
I think everybody moved out of Jacksonville. Low key. Yeah. Young and Ace don't live there no more. Fulio don't live there, but he always be there. I think Fulio live in Atlanta or something. Fulio always be there. And I said this on the reaction yesterday, day before yesterday at the time y'all watching this. Man, I said, Fulio, man, stop going to Jacksonville. Leave that alone, bro. You ain't got nothing to prove there. So JDot don't live there. I know Papa don't live there. Nardo damn sure don't live there. Who else? I don't know. I feel like everybody got up out of there.
Yeah. It's not even
It was at this point that JDot worked on his first album, Creation. He went to the studio every single day to perfect his craft. It grew boring, but he knew what he had to do. Around this time, JDot started losing his homies to gang drama. One in particular that really hit him was losing Leaky. It really hurt him, and he thought about how just days before that they was riding around on their bikes talking about life. A while ago, Julio Fulio featured a female artist named Lotta Cash Desto, who is now deceased, dissing one of JDot Breezy's deceased friends, Leaky, in a track called Pop Out. She didn't know Leaky personally.
Was she not involved in this bullshit at all? But then she just does this video with him.
Yeah,
and
like we don't know her at all. Like,
And she, okay, because y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember hearing about this because she was a Lil Uzi Vert's artist, right? But her dad got arrested for the murder of Young Dolph. Like, this is crazy. I think her dad was the one that had something to do with Young Dolph's murder. So it's like somehow it entered. I don't know. It was weird.
right.
at all.
What
Never
was her
heard.
name?
Video with him.
Yeah,
and
like we
was she not involved?
It's Leaky in a track called Desto, who is now deceased, dissing one of
Yeah, I
JDot
think
Breezy's
it was
deceased
her.
friends, Leaky, in a track called Pop Out. She didn't know Leaky personally.
Was she not involved in this bullshit at all? But then she just does this video with him.
Yeah,
and
like we don't know her at all. Like, we don't
Right.
know her at all. Never heard of her. Never seen.
because she's
her.
not from there. She's from Texas, so it's totally separate, right?
No, she's from Memphis.
Oh, she's from Memphis? I thought it was
Yeah,
Texas.
I think,
Okay, my
I
bad.
think, yeah.
From here on out, it was JDot's turn at bat. When the news dropped that Desto had lost her life, Breezy took to the internet to poke fun at her. He was criticized but didn't show remorse immediately. Now he can admit that it might not have been the best thing to do.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I could have been a bigger person than I said I though. But you know,
Yeah, I feel it.
You know, in Bruh's interviews, he really seems to have good character. I can't even front.
Oh,
He
facts.
seemed like a chill, laid-back type of dude with a decent head on his shoulders. Nevertheless, JDot Breezy will go on to drop 2 hard-body diss tracks in 2022 that really was buzzing on the internet. However, as of now, he doesn't really seem to be too worried about the ops, at least on wax. Julio Fulio, on the other hand, ain't letting up. Just recently, he hit the internet to post alleged paperwork that got Breezy looking crazy. However, the story hasn't gained any traction, so Breezy ain't been paying it no attention, which is a very smart move. Whether the snitching claims are true or not haven't been confirmed as of yet, so we just gonna leave that where it is.
And bro said, you know, when that paperwork came out, he wasn't in the streets like that. Like he was a civilian at that time. And he said since then the paperwork been clean. But I'll tell you something about this paperwork, bro. Like these things, they coming out the whirlwind right now, like crazy, man.
Nice try though, Fulio. Valiant effort. Since he came
But it's
into the
crazy
game,
because JDot, and this how I know, like, JDot fans really rock with him. Because that came out, bro, he dropped ever since 2019 or something, he dropped that. He kept dropping, and bro, views kept going up. Like, bro, and he ain't get blacklisted or nothing. Like, nothing happened. Like, come on. Like, JDot, come on, man.
at where it is. Nice try
Like,
though,
bro ain't
Fulio.
stopped.
Valiant effort. Since he came into the game, JDot Breezy has been dropping dope track after dope track, banger after banger. With a style that's as diverse as it is entertaining, bruh won't be missing anytime soon. The wild thing is, Breezy really just getting started.
Facts.
He hella young and most importantly, still independent. He has an extremely bright future ahead of him if he can stay out of the drama and not get tricked out of his spot. The sky's the limit for Mr. JDot. All he really gotta do is stay smart, stay alert, and stay real. I'm out, y'all.
And you know what? And JDot being as young as he is, man, and everything that all the views he's accumulated, being independent too, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. I feel like, you know, and I've always said, like, he's extremely underrated. You look at Jacksonville as a whole, I feel like, yeah, a lot of artists there got motion, but a lot of them are also slept on at the same time in the grand scheme of things. I could see JDot being, you know, one of them ones, man. Like, I feel like from a music standpoint, his pain music, his drill music, kill music, whatever, bro hits on all cylinders. And, you know, and hearing a couple of his interviews, some of the clips, man, like bro said, like he got a good head on his shoulders. I feel like bro is very well aware of his surroundings and everything. I feel like he intact with reality. You know, and he has every component to be successful in the industry, man. And I wish him nothing but the best, man, because JDot's my dog, man. Jacksonville's New Hope, the JDot Breezy story, link down below in the description for y'all to check it out in its entirety with no interruptions. Y'all new to the channel, y'all rock with me. Hit that subscribe button for me. And until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV. I'm out.